welcome Matt Aaron, who's the co-founder of the Insurance Agent app, which provides the next generation of insurance agent mobile applications. All right, so while we're getting that situated, perfect. Just as a reminder, after the 3 pitches are presented, we are going to have a 15-minute break for additional networking, but also there will be voting time. There's going to be a SurveyMonkey link where both the audience as well as our esteemed judges will be able to spend some time and award them. Oh, thank you. Oh, Kurt. Yeah. Your pitch is done, sir. So yeah, on the right, in moose. I think you got it probably. There you go. All right. Awesome. All yours.
Good. Thank you very much. Frank, you done yet? Evening, everybody. Matt Aaron, co-founder of Insurance Agent app. Happy to be back here at InsurTech Hartford. I did not come in from Hawaii or California, but I did come from Charlotte, North Carolina this morning. So we made it. We made it. We made it. My story is a little bit different. I've been in the entertainment industry for most of my career with major media companies, Viacom, Paramount, CBS. My insurance journey started about 8 years ago. And it started when I was jogging on this sidewalk with my 10-year-old son in Charlotte when a minivan got sideways about a foot from us and was skidding forward perpendicular to the road at 40 miles an hour. So if it had jumped the curb, we would not be talking this evening. So fortunately for us, it went up and hit this pin oak tree, took a big chunk out of it, caused a good-sized accident that we helped clean up. But in the process of that cleanup, I asked myself the question, if you were in that accident, what would you have to do? Got to call your agent, right? So I realized I had no clue who my agent was, didn't know his name, had no idea what the name of his agency was. So I went and sat down with the fellow and asked him, why don't you have a meaningful presence for me on my smartphone? And he said, I'd love to, but I don't have the time, the money, or the resources to build anything like that. But if you would please do that, that would be great. So we did. We built an application called Insurance Agent app. And at its core, it's a client engagement tool. And it really is about allowing clients to self-service. Very much like any other good carrier app, because there are some really bad carrier apps that are out there. So all the primary functionality that you see here, the one-tap access, 24/7 access, bill pay, IDs, inventory app within the app, multiple claim reports for vehicle, workplace, and property, push notifications, and other elements that we continue to build in there. We have a new release coming out next week. But what we really wanted to do was make sure that the agent was at the center point of communication, not one of the companies that they necessarily worked with. And that's really important. That was our whole focus when we did this. But that's not what I'm here to show you tonight. Apps are now 12 years old, right? We identified a different problem in the industry. In the US, the property and casualty business is approximately a $650 billion per year industry. And it's dominated by captives, directs, and independents. I had no clue what any of those three were when I first started this, right? But what we came to realize was that the independent channel writes 60% plus 60% of that business within the independent channel. That's about $400 billion a year. And what happens in this channel is you have a lot of communication between the three stakeholders, companies, policyholders, and agencies. And all of the communication is two-way. And if you sit back and think about that, it is. Two-way, two-way, two-way. There is nothing connecting all three. There is no service platform connecting these stakeholders. What that leads to is a lot of friction for policyholders of independent agents. I think you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, been there, right? Okay, so this is what we created, a service platform. We didn't create an app. The app is a facilitation tool to connect the three parties, companies, policyholders, and agencies. We are connected to all three in various ways. And what we do by being right in the middle is provide a very seamless experience so that that friction is removed for the end user policyholder. A couple of years ago in 2017, we won the Accord InsurTech Innovation Challenge because we delivered a first notice of loss directly from the app to our proof of concept partner, which was Selective Insurance, and Selective could close that round trip back to the policyholder in whatever way they wanted to communicate back, through their own channel or through our application. And just recently, 2 months ago in December, we were highlighted as one of the top 10 InsurTechs of 2019. They put it out in December. Like, if you could put it out in January, we'd get a year's worth of mileage on that promotionally. But in any case, they put it out in December, so we were just won that. And what we did was we worked with the Hartford on new digital standards for micromessaging. Anybody want to guess the error rate on a change request for something as simple as a middle initial? Take a guess. 40% on the first pass. All the paper that's going to go round trip, think about it, all right? You know how ugly this is. So what we did was we worked with the Hartford. They have an API that's available for us. It was very simple, frankly, connecting into that, and the change request was generated through the app, went to first our partner agency, then went directly to the Hartford because the agency realized they didn't need to touch it. There was no effect on premium, and Hartford could respond to it immediately. That's where we're trying to get to in terms of what we're trying to solve as a service platform for the channel. We continue to work with those carriers that I've mentioned, including Safeco, where we receive policy data syncs regularly. And that's really more on a test basis, so that if our primary mode of integration would, first option would be to integrate with an agency's management system. If we can't do that integration with a management system, or a management system doesn't want to, we'll go upstream and integrate with an insurance company and receive a data sync that way. We do AMS integrations, as I mentioned. We've been integrated with QQ Catalyst for a while. Hawksoft, we're members of Vertifor's Orange Partner Program. We have 4 other management system integrations planned for this year. We're looked at as a really good partner to work with within the channel because of the commitment to the channel. This is all we do. We don't create apps for doctors or lawyers, and we really do believe that the independent channel needs a solution like this, because you saw the commercials in fourth quarter, right, with Aaron Rodgers, my app, my agent, my app. We are now getting calls from agency principals saying that they are getting calls from their clients saying, where's your app? So it's happening. It finally has happened. I mean, we're a little early, like 8 years too early, but it's nice to be here and finally recognizing what's happening. So the opportunity here for companies, for investors, is to build the service platform that is agnostic for the independent channel. This is not a simple problem to solve. Highly complex, very fragmented. We have the ability, if an individual user, policyholder, has multiple agencies, we can serve up the policies for that policyholder from their different agencies, and the agencies won't see the policies with the other agency. Anybody in here who understands technology knows that is a complex issue to resolve, and we've done it. So where we are right now, we're coming up on our 500 agency sign up. Monthly recurring revenue, approximately $20,000. That's going to change radically. We just completed the Hawksoft integration. We had a webinar last week with them. 500 people, agencies, had signed up, and 274 showed up. I really shouldn't be here. I should just be, home and in the office making money. But I'm happy to be here because it is important to demonstrate that this is something that's needed in the channel. And anybody who wants to move it forward, as those companies are, like the ones I mentioned, we're working on it. We invite others to participate with us. And we are in a capital raise right now, and we are raising $2 million to move this forward. We got a great team. You may recognize some people who are on this screen, but at its core, if you don't know Frank Center and you're in this room, you really should, because he is the man, and he is the one. He is the godfather of InsurTech. Ben Gilman, a Techstars alum, he's our tech lead, and all the other folks that you see on there, everybody who's on our team is accretive. No one's asking where's their money. They get where this is going. Last screen, as I said, just to wrap up, because I like sticking to time. We are there, correct? So, no, this is a phenomenal opportunity for the industry to recognize that you cannot leave the independent channel flailing the way that you have. It is now time to open up in a way, and things are opening up, particularly with those companies that I mentioned. They're leading the way in very great ways. And I would encourage anybody who's here who knows those companies to say thank you to them, because they're helping move this channel forward. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, any questions first before we wrap it up? Got one?
We just did a deferred comp deal, right? I wouldn't call this an angel round. I would likely call this a Series A round. We haven't defined the terms yet.
All right.
George?
What are the use of funds going to be allocated towards?
Sales and marketing, very much so. We're just finishing a very deep development round right now. That's with that release that is coming out next week. That's been 9 months in development. We have the other 4 integrations to do this year. So between the 4 integrations and the build out of sales and marketing, that's where those funds are going.
And specifically within sales and marketing, what channels have you already tested or are planning to test that have been most effective to
Yeah.
date?
The management systems that we've worked with, as I said, we're members of Vertiforce Orange Partner Program. They play a big part in letting their clients know about us. We've been doing this for 8 years. Our database is about 6,000 agencies deep. We have affiliations with all the state associations, I shouldn't say all, but just about all the major state associations. I'll be at the IIANC North Carolina on Thursday. They lead the way technologically along with the Big I of Ohio. They all know us. We're members of ACT, the Agents Council for Technology. So we are looked to as the go-to within this space for mobile. And we are with agencies as well. They recognize that, you know what, we're trying to do the right thing. There is another platform that's coming out this year that others may know about. We will be their mobile solution, and they haven't announced that, so I won't announce it here. But these are all good things, so fun. Anybody else?
Thank you,
Thanks,
Matt.
everybody.